Hey buddy, thanks for tuning in to today's video. Just want to have a quick look at the changing temperatures that's on the way next week, because we are going to get some warm weather, although it's not necessarily going to get especially hot, but it's certainly going to get much more summery than we've been used to in the last few weeks. Now, before I get on with the video, just want to talk about the advertising. That usually be a video ad overlaying my web videos, GavsWebVids.com. Please play those video ads. You'll be supporting GavsWebVids.com by doing that. So the best way to demonstrate the temperature change for the coming few days is to use the thickness charts. Now, the thickness charts are quite difficult to explain, but what you really need to keep an eye on with these are the coloured lines. Now, we've got the green line here. This is the 546 thickness line, and you should really think of that as being like the polar front, really. But behind that green line, that's where we've got Arctic origin air, and basically this green line represents autumn, really. Once we get to September, October, we'll find that green line at some point during September or October coming southwards and be getting south of the British Isles, and once we're behind that green line, then we'll be firmly in autumnal conditions. So this is like the polar front, really, and this has been flirting with us throughout the summer. This line, this would normally, or should normally, be pushed way north up towards the Arctic at the moment, but it's been a long way southwards, and it's still a long way southwards today. It's another very cool day, really, across the country. The actual line is lying there across Scotland and Northern Ireland, but anywhere that's like within the vicinity of that green line is going to be very cool. Now, this line down here, this more yellowy coloured line, that actually is where the summer temperatures are. It's along that line that we've got the warmth, and this is the 564 thickness line. Once that pushes northwards and you're within that line, then temperatures are going to be in the summery category, so talking about temperatures into the mid to high 20s. And then finally, right down at the bottom of the chart here, this is where the really hot air is residing, and at the moment that's well southwards, actually south of the Mediterranean. If you get within that line, then temperatures will be up into the hundreds Fahrenheit, so that's where the temperatures in the Africa area are very warm indeed. So that's where the very hot air is. We don't need to concern ourselves with that because we never see that getting as far north as us. So it's really this green line and this more yellow coloured line that we have to keep an eye on. So let's run through the charts and see how things develop. So this is for Saturday. We've still got the green line there, the 546 line line across the country. So still very cool, really, although pressure is starting to build. Notice this area of low pressure in the Atlantic is pulling up this 564 line. As I say, behind that line, and it's going to be warm, and that low pressure is pulling that line northwards. Now, as we go into Sunday the 22nd, we find that the green line, the 546 line, is finally starting to push away to the north and the east, and now we're seeing that 564 thickness line moving towards us. We're within this area of high pressure, of course, so once this line pushes it through that area of high pressure, then we're into a proper summery pattern, and that's exactly what happens once we get through to Monday the 23rd. The 546 line is back up where it should be. It's right up into the Arctic, and now we're looking at this 564 line pushing across the country. Most parts of the country are actually within that 564 line, so by Monday it will be warm. It'll be very warm. We've got high pressure there building within that line as well, so we bring warm air basically into the high pressure. Very warm, not hot I don't think, but it's very warm. Temperatures around 25, 26, possibly 27 degrees, so around the 80 Fahrenheit mark if you get some sunshine. Now, by the time we get through to Thursday, the high pressure there is dominating the weather, and the 564 line now is lying across southern parts of the country, so it's actually sunk a little bit further southwards, and the reason that's happening is that the high pressure is basically centred over or just very slightly to the west of the country. To maintain that warm thickness line, we need to get the high pressure more to the east of the country and pull up a southerly or southeasterly flow, but nevertheless it is still very warm air really within this area of high pressure. It's just that the thickness line, the 564 thickness line, has moved a little bit further southwards, but nevertheless it's still pretty warm with temperatures at least into the mid-20s for many of us. Another way of looking at this change in temperatures is to use the upper air temperatures. This is the 850 HPA upper air temperatures. This is the situation today, Thursday the 19th. We're in these yellow colours. It's cool. The 5 Celsius isotherm there is more or less lying across some parts of the country. So this is cool air. This is where the warmth is. It's in a very similar position to where the thickness line was, the warm thickness line. It's there. It's the plus 10 Celsius isotherm, and that is to the south of the country at the moment. Now as we run through the charts, you'll see that by the time we get through to Monday the 23rd, that 10 Celsius isotherm has moved up right across the country. So remember that by Monday the 564 thickness line was within within that line. Well, now we're also within the 10 Celsius isotherm. So both the isotherm and the thickness line are more or less in the same position, and the British Isles is within that envelope now of warm air. We've also got the high pressure building to the south, and as we run through to the end of next week, we find that 10 Celsius isotherm is still more or less lying across these southern counties. So again, it's in a very similar position to where the 564 thickness line was. It's lying across these southern counties, and really the British Isles is in a warm situation here, a very warm situation. The heat, the real heat, which would give us temperatures above around 90 to 90 or above Fahrenheit, is the 15 Celsius isotherm. That's still to the south of the country. So I think we are looking at a very warm spell next week rather than a particularly hot spell of weather. The really hot air does look as though it's going to be kept just to the south of the country. But even so, temperatures up to around 27, 28 degrees maybe later next week. So that's up to low 80s Fahrenheit. It's very warm, and certainly in comparison to what we've been used to. Having a quick look at finally at the press charts for 10 days away. So this is taking us Sunday the 29th of July, taking us more or less to the start of August. And with the GFS model wants to have high pressure still centred around the country, or very slightly to the west of the country. So this is still keeping it very warm and dry with plenty of sunshine up to the end of the month. But the ECMWF is a bit different. That wants to take the high pressure out to west and pull down this much cooler north or northeast wind. I'm not sure about this, but if it's right, then temperatures will be cooling off quite dramatically once we get through to the end of the month with much cooler weather coming along. The GEM, finally, the Canadian model, and that has the high pressure again down to the southwest of the country for the end of the month, and we're bringing in this northwesterly wind. So this is really a blend of the GFS and the ECM. It's somewhere in the middle, and perhaps a most likely scenario, which is basically dry weather but turning a little bit cooler from the northwest. Anyway, I thought you'd enjoy this, a quick look at how we work out the temperatures and how we work out that the temperatures will be warming up next week. It is going to turn warmer next week, turning very warm, and it's going to be a nice spell of weather if you like warm, dry and sunny conditions. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.